Hello. Today I want to talk about some of the ideas that I had 6 years ago regarding a problem that I had started about 8 years ago. I started with a friend of mine a website booking bands called Band Booking Genius, and I was reading a book during that time frame about how to be a successful musician. And I was reading through the book, and there was this just familiar theme that the reasons musicians fail is poor management, whether it be self-management or professional management. And I thought to myself, wow, how can I get musicians to do something that's not that attractive to their personality type? As a general reference point, musicians are not particularly excited about business, but unfortunately business and management are all integral to success in pretty much any field or activity that humans do, when it requires coordination, strategy, education, resource management. And so I thought to myself, now how can I get musicians who look at the business part of music business as being from Satan's womb, agents and managers and attorneys and things of that nature. So as I began to think, or kind of ponder that for 6 months, how can I get musicians to do something they don't like to do? And I thought upon a particular theory about how musicians, how can I get somebody, like, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. How do I get them to do something they don't like to do? What do the musicians like to do for fun? And after 4 or 5 months, it just suddenly occurred to me that what they like to do is play computer games. I thought to myself, well, wait a second, now how can I turn management into a game? And I started to theorize, and that, well, maybe if we had fans have 25 very clear tasks that they could do, so that they could achieve some kind of status of some kind. So you made a game between you and your fans. And so I thought, well, okay, one thing would be a very clear, measurable task. Like, if you email the music director requesting our particular song, we give you a point. If you bring a friend to a concert who's never been before, we give you a point. And so you had very clear things that your fans could do to turn them from passive fans to engaged game-playing fans, for backstage passes, band merch, various different bragging rights. And then you apply that same concept of play amongst the members of your band and the activities that you do, so that your motivation is rewarded in a game theory type of a thing. And so I started to look at a variety of different types of concepts, and the theory of management, and the foundation of management through our culture for thousands of years has been based upon the stick, work or lose your job, or the carrot. It's kind of motivation from, kind of like desire. Basically, we're talking about fear and greed. And we build our foundation for thousands of years, foundation based upon it. We build our house of cards on top of this foundation. This foundation, fear and greed, is not a very good foundation, not very strong or sturdy. You build a house of cards, and after it gets so high, the foundation just gives out, and your society fails. Kind of like what happens in empires, which we've had a similar conversation about the cycles of empires. So I thought to myself, empires are centralized governments controlled from a center. And during rapid, now this is going to be a little bit of a stretch, and I'll give you background information to this, but basically the computer makes things, transformation of information and activities move rather quickly. It speeds things up. Kind of like putting a stopwatch. It just basically speeds things up. And that's why Russia failed, was because of the computer. Centralized governments don't work well with a computer, because a computer decentralizes and works so quickly that a centralized government can't respond as quickly. And so in the United States, when Russia was failing, so was the United States. From a centralized government, we were shedding and pushing the central government responsibilities back to the states and to smaller groups, so that we can work with the computer. Now the computer is going to continue to decentralize the centralized governments of the world, such as the United States and the major Russia and things of that nature. And then states will have more responsibilities, and then they'll push those responsibilities off into the counties, and the counties will then push them back to the cities, and then back eventually to the individuals themselves. So what we're looking at is, instead of a one world government where you have a centralized power, what you have is a one world order of all individuals working together with no centralized force. And in the next conversation, I'm going to go into a little bit more depth and a little bit more into explaining exactly what that might look like in the future. Hopefully, if we turn from fear and greed to play, we actually might end the cycle of bust boom and all of the tyranny that we have around the world and the war. Thank you very much for listening to me. Please subscribe to my channel. Follow me, share any information, or give me comments, and I'll be sure to respond. Thank you very much. Happy holidays.